Hello there, RJB here, and we return with a match between Hamburgersasu, our channel favorite, against Featwin, who is a player we have never ever seen before. Maybe we have, you never know. These people change their names a lot, so maybe it is someone we've seen before, but no bells are ringing for me. This is going to be a cherry-popping replay where we are taking his RJB TV virginity with his very first appearance on the channel. So Featwin here on the orange Terran and Hamburgersasu on the blue Zerg. This is one of the most fun matchups to watch. Zerg against Terran. It feels more even than the other matchups, in my opinion. And there's a lot of distance between the two players, which kind of ushers in and spoils the fact that this probably will become a rather long, lengthy match. Maybe the background sound is a little bit too high, maybe it is just a little bit too high, reducing that both by a tiny little bit. I hope these levels are a little bit better. I've been noticing that in the recent videos the background music was a little bit too loud, and I don't want it to drown out or to become too overpowering in the background, because that's something I've been noticing and that's something that's been bothering me. Hamburgersasu really likes to go for non-choke Zerg against Terran, and he is usually pretty damn good at it. And now do note, of course, this is a nerfed Hamburgersasu. He has carpal tunnel syndrome. He's no longer the absolute mechanical beast that he used to be. His APM has reduced by quite a bit to compensate for the pain in his wrists and to basically try and keep them a little bit more healthy. Hopefully he's doing his stretches and exercises to keep his wrist healthy, because that's something that you should always be doing if you want to keep your wrist healthy. Do some exercises, do some stretching, keep those wrists flexible and healthy to prevent injuries and to ensure a long-lasting gaming career so that you can always keep enjoying those games that you absolutely love. Don't be another one of those players who develops carpal tunnel or tendonitis or whatever else you can develop for your wrists. Please keep them healthy. And with that PSA out of the way, Hamburgersasu there goes for a lot of hatcheries very early on a single pool. Of course, you only always make a single pool, so that's a given. Gas there on the way as well. He's saving up larvae to start building Zerglings so he can start sending them out into the middle of the map to protect himself against early marine rushes or whatever, or maybe start doing some damage to his opponent. He's got 8 Zerglings on the way. Gas is finished, putting 3 drones there on the gas. The SCV has found him. He's building a bunker there in the front just to slow down those Zerglings that are going to try to break out into the middle. He's got 2 SCVs to repair, although this SCV here might get taken down there by the Zerglings. He's trying to run away, turns around, great little juke. Gonna stay there in the bait. Zergs are gonna try to break out. He knows the bunker is there in the front. He's gonna try to take down the bunker before it really poses much of a threat, before too many Marines enter. He tries to kill the SCV, but can't really get on top of it. Great move there, actually, to build the engineering bait in the front to make it harder to attack the bunker. This already tells that Featwin is a smart player. He's a smart Terran player, and that means we're going to be seeing a fun match. Because when a player is smart, you can expect a lot of great creativity and effective styles of play. He's building a small wall to keep those Zerglings there contained within the base, because Zergling speed are on the way in an early lair as well. Because Hamburgersasu knows that he can't really break out into the middle with that bunker and the depot there, kind of preventing him from going out into the middle without losing units. So he's basically going for, I'm not going to try and risk it. Vulture there comes in though to try and kill some Zerglings. He's dragging them in, kills one very soon. Zerglings are simply retreating back to the sunken there back at home. He's got 2 sunkens on the way back at home. Highlist in the corner, he's going for lurkers. The Vulture is not spotting that den, so the Vulture Featwin doesn't know whether he's going for Mutalisks or going for a lurker, although he did see only a single extractor. But this is about the timing where you would be adding on 2 more extractors to finance your Mutalisks, so he still doesn't have that information. It can be Mutalisks or lurkers within the mind of Featwin. He's mostly getting those Vultures. He doesn't have mines, I think. He does have speed there on the way. I don't see any siege tanks yet. He's just going for the Vulture playstyle, basically. He's just gonna stick to the Vultures, and hopefully that will be enough to keep Hamburgersasu contained within his base. Hamburgersasu is on track, though. He's slowly getting his Hydras out. The Hydras being spotted out by Featwin, of course, gives away the fact that he is probably going for Lurkers. But you couldn't be more wrong, as he's going for Hydralisk speed and probably going to follow that up with Hydralisk range. He's losing a couple drones here, though, but... Ooh, 2 more Vultures coming in to finish off some more drones. I think he got about 6 or 7 drones in total. That hurts a little bit. Hurts quite a bit. Not a little bit, it hurts quite a bit. But Hamburgersasu, I think he'll be able to find a way out of this. He will be able to cope with this. Because at the same time, Featwin lost a lot of Vultures, and that is a pretty big investment to lose. He's gonna try to go in once again. Kills 2, kills 3, kills 4. Might get number 5 as well, though the Vultures, no, the Vultures go down just a little bit too fast. The Vultures are great for those little run-bys, but they don't really survive for too long. Placing down mines there in the choke. He's got an overlord very close to the choke, but not here, not in the front. So the mines might actually end up killing some Hydras. Hamburgersasu just keeps on adding Hydras. This is basically how you play on normal maps when you're up against mech. You go Hydralisks. Although on normal maps, it is basically Goliaths to counter the Mulisks. And Mulisks are not an option here for Hamburgersasu. He's doing Hydralisks, which of course also means that Featwin can, instead of just making Vultures non-stop and blazing mines all over the place, he can go for tanks as well. The siege mode on the way, but no tanks on the map yet. He's still messing about with his Vultures, trying to kill drones once again. But this time around, there's a lot of Hydralisk in the back that might kill those Vultures pretty quick, although he does still get 2, 3, 4, 3 kills on the drones. So Hamburgersasu lost a lot of drones over the period so far, but Featwin has pretty much only made himself Vultures, and he's throwing away those Vultures non-stop. So Featwin doesn't actually have that many units back at home. He does have a couple of structures in between and a lot of mines on the middle of the map as well, but they're going to slow Hamburgersasu down because he first has to move an Overlord into position to start killing the mines. Although the Highlanders are actually doing a pretty good job there of just simply sniping. Alright, that one was a big hit. That one takes the wind out of his sails for sure. One more mine. That mine gets taken down there though. The tank arrives on the scene just in time. Hamburgersasu doesn't yet know where his opponent is located. He does have a rough idea, but he still has to scout. And imagine if he didn't have to scout. Imagine if he was able to just go in straight for the attack right here, right now, and clear out that choke, kill the tank, and invade that base. Although more tanks are spawning right about now at the same time as well, so maybe he couldn't really have done that much damage except for killing the barrack and the depot there in the front and a single tank. Maybe he could have done more, maybe he couldn't. I don't know, but I do know that if he knew where Featwin was located, he'd have a little bit more luck on his side. Featwin now on 52 SCVs. He went for the triple command center there in the back. Already has Goliaths on the way with Karen boosters being researched. He has the armory finished for that one. He's got a Starport on the way as well for, of course, vessels, maybe Valkyries as well. He can basically build a lot of different units. It's all up to him. Hamburgersasu in the meantime though has built a massive base, 5 hatcheries on the top side, 3 hatcheries on the bottom side, and of course the main for a total of 9 hatcheries. He's got 4 gas there. He's getting a lot of drones. He's getting Lurker aspect. He is got a hive on the way. Queen's Nest, of course, in the mix as well. Greater Spire, well, a normal Spire. He's adding on Evo Chambers as well to get all the upgrades for his units. Now 48 drones. He's getting massive economy. And he's got these Hydras here in the choke. Well, in the entrance. That should give away the fact that Featwin is moving out. So he has some time to respond. Because these Hydralisk are there, and because he has that Overlord there on the hill. So he knows these tanks are coming, and he can prepare himself. Although that's a lot of tanks. That's a lot of tanks. Although the tanks are getting taken down there one by one, because the Hydralisks are pretty good against unsieged tanks. Like if they were sieged up, he would still lose a couple tanks, but they would immediately one-shot those Hydras. It's a little bit slower to fight unsieged. Although unsieged tanks still deal quite a nice amount of damage. It's really underrated how high the damage is of regular unsieged tanks. 30 damage per shot. 150 HP. They can take down units pretty quick if unsieged. Right, so he's pushing forward slowly but surely. Hamburgersasu is scrabbling to build an army. He's making a lot of mulisks, and actually there's no anti-air on the map at the moment whatsoever. There is a vessel on the way, but I don't see any Goliaths. I don't see any Goliaths anywhere at all, or Valkyrie. So once those mulisks spawn, he is going to push those tanks back to where they came from, or simply outright kill all of them. More Hydus. Oh, the mules are spawning right about now. He's going to push forward very soon. He's throwing some shade on him. Tanks are unsieging. Tanks are going to roll back to base. No, he's going to roll forward. He's going to try to kill the drones instead of... Oh, he's being very greedy here. He's pushing forward as far as he can. Tanks are sieging up. They might get a shot of all the drones. He gets a shot of all the drones, but he doesn't really kill that many, as only a single tank was in reach to hit the drones, and a single tank shot is not enough to kill those drones. They stay alive, barely though, very low HP, but they stay alive nonetheless, and all the tanks, all the army, the entire army, gets torn to shreds by Hamburgersasu's defensive army. Very well timed, very well timed. He had basically everything in position the moment he needed it. Maybe if Featwin rolled up a little bit closer with his tanks, he could have killed more drones, but it was not meant to be. It was not meant to be, not today, not yet. Featwin though, Featwin has a massive base, throws down 6 starports at the same time. He wants to get a lot of vessels, maybe Valkyries as well, against those mulisks, though he has some Goliaths here mixed in as well. His upgrades are coming along slowly but surely as well. He has level 1 attack there on the tanks, but his Hamburgersasu still has no upgrades for his air. Has 1-1 for his ground though, and Lurkers on the way as well. He has the Fighter Mount as well, got Consume on the way, with the Spire also being morphed. He's adding on more extractors because at the moment he's only on 6, and he needs, well, he's only on 7 actually. He needs 10 of them in total to finance his gas needs, because Lurkers cost a lot of gas, Guardians cost a lot of gas, and Mulisks themselves also cost a lot of gas. He doesn't have a Defiler yet. Maybe a small little oversight. The Defiler is on the way though. Got Scorches as well to fight the vessels. Featwin is rolling up there in the front, setting up shop there. 2 vessels in the air. He's pushing Hamburgersasu back bit by bit, who still doesn't have his Defiler finished. He does have Consume finished. That is a little bit of an oversight to not have it synced up. Oh, vessels coming in to raid the drones. Does he have Burrow? He has Burrow. Hamburgersasu never ever forgets to get Burrow, but he does lose a couple of drones that were already on low HP from that tank shot earlier to their radiate. But he doesn't lose too many, and that's important. He keeps most of them alive, still on 63 drones. He's in a pretty good spot. Level 2 upgrade for his ground forces on the way. Level 1 carrot base for the air. No Guardians being morphed yet. He's focusing on just getting that Defiler finished and getting some energy on the Defiler with the Consume, and setting up here right next to the tanks and push Featwin out of his base with a massive army from Featwin is on the way here on the middle to reinforce units here already on the scene, but a little bit too slow as the Lurkers burrow up, going to clear out these tanks. Gets the... Isn't even using the Dark Swarm yet. He's using the Dark Swarm here in the choke, where because tanks here already got cleared out, sets up shop and keeps Featwin out of his base for now. A lot of Lurkers there under the Dark Swarm. I think the Defiler is... The Defiler did get taken down there by some tank shots. But that's unfortunate. He has to wait for another Defiler to finish, but he has Guardians there rolling out into the middle. He's got 2 Devarus as well, just in case there's anti-air. Vessel gets taken down there by the Scorches, and now we've got Goliaths against Guardians, but there's too many Guardians for these Goliaths to fight into. The Goliaths do have some upgrades, but they are too small in number, and Featwin gets pushed out of Hamburgersasu's base. Once again, we got some ground forces joining the fray as well. Hamburgersasu is going for the attack. He's feeling frisky. He's feeling like he can do it. He's got the Defilers on the way as well. They're back at home, but the Defilers are a little bit too far away for now, so maybe he should just wait on the middle instead of committing to the fight. His units are running into tanks. A lot of units are going down to the tanks. He does have that vessel there to detect the Lurker, so yes, Hamburgersasu could pull back for now and wait a little bit longer, although we've got Valkyries coming in from the right side. He's pulling back, indeed. No Defiler means he has to pull back for now. Leaves a couple Lurkers, well, 1 Lurker there on the middle. Valkyries hunting for Overlords and vessels there on the scene as well to go for the drones. Hydras coming in to defend against those Valkyries. Oh, some Overlords do go down. Hamburgersasu currently supply blocked. Gonna come in from the top side there with the vessels. Vessels are gonna get sniped. Maybe one of them does make it through. One of them makes it through, but it gets taken down before it reaches the drones, and the Valkyries go down as well. Great attempt from Featwin. You have to try these things. You have to try to kill those drones. Otherwise, the Zerg just gets too big, too fast, and becomes very comfortable with just spamming out and massing a big army. So Featwin is doing all he has to do, but isn't quite getting the results that he wants to, or that he needs to. Right, so another Lurker Swarm there in the front to keep Featwin out. Valkyries coming in to take care of the Guardians. We've got a couple of Scorches there to defend against the Vessel, but the Vessel flies away just in time. He's going for those Valkyries instead. 2 Valkyries get taken down there. Another Dark Swarm gets thrown down there in the front to defend and protect those Lurkers. There's only 2 Lurkers underneath, and Featwin knows this. He notices and he goes in, rolls in, sets the shot on the bottom side of Hamburgersasu space. Sees up outside of the Dark Swarm's range. Lurker can hit this one on the bottom side there though. But now Hamburgersasu throws down his Dark Swarm as well. Doesn't really help here though. Doesn't really help with those Hydras. These Dark Swarms don't really do much, although now the Lurkers are coming in as well to finish off these tanks, so the tanks are kind of already died. But nonetheless, Featwin gets pushed back once again. He tried to crawl in there and set up shop, and set up a strong foothold, get a foot between the door here in Hamburger's base, but he can't stay there. He's getting pushed out again. And Hamburgersasu once again sets up a very strong choke here with Lurkers under the Dark Swarm. The Fighters behind, Valkyrie still flying back and forth. Upgrades on 1-1, tanks are on 0-1, they have 1-2 on the way. Hamburgersasu already on 2-2 for his ground. His Zerglings as well, his upgrades are actually really, really good. He is really on point with all the small little things he has to get in order to outmuscle that Terran that Featwin is playing. Now this has me a little bit worried. Featwin is getting some battle cruisers as well, but battle cruisers, historically speaking, don't do that well on fastest map against a Zerg. On normal maps, some of these battle cruisers are really great because you can send them to a proxy base on the map and start wreaking havoc at that proxy base. But on fastest map, everything is so concentrated, and there's Defilers, and there are Devourers, and there's Scorches as well, and battle cruisers don't do well against Scorches. So this is actually one of those opportunities for Hamburgersasu to punish Featwin for sinking so many minerals into those very expensive units that take up a lot of supply. All he has to do is throw down the Plague and some Devourers in the mix as well, and those battle cruisers don't really amount to much. He does have Yamato Cannon on the way to try and get in and snipe that hive, but there's a lot of spores being thrown down, a lot of spores being thrown. This is a lot of spores being thrown down, more than you would expect to ever see. Really. This might make a nice thumbnail though. I'm gonna wait for a nicer one. Let's get the interface fixed up. A lot of Guardians on the way here in the back. Devourers as well. He has to get Devourers. Yes, he's got Devourers morphing. He's hit level 2-2 for his air. He's got level 3-3 on the way. Level 2-2 is on the way. 3-3 for ground is finishing up though. He's got a massive upgrade lead. Level 2 attack there for the tanks. No armor on the tanks yet. The air is on 2-2. So his battle cruisers are actually pretty strong. Clearing out the spores on the side slowly but surely. Battlecruisers are waiting to strike to hit the hive. As these are repairing the battlecruisers, I really like Featwin's play. He's actually playing smart. Now the Devourers are coming in to debuff those battlecruisers. We've got some Valkyries coming in to kill the Devourers, but the Valkyries gonna get debuffed just as hard. And the battlecruiser is now pretty much useless, as they pretty much don't have any damage left whatsoever. More Devourers coming in there to debuff and debuff and debuff. We've got Queens coming in as well with ensnares to just make sure that battlecruisers are never ever going to get away or get on top of the hive. Guardians are clearing out ground units there as well. This is the perfect thumbnail. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh no, now we got the text file and the Alright, I botched it. I botched the thumbnail. Sorry for that one. I was a little bit too slow with getting the thumbnail. Alright, this is a nice one, but let's just look for one after the game. Let's focus on the match itself. Let's not... Ooh, look at how slow those battlecruisers are. They are so dreadfully slow. Bottom line is though, Hamburgersasu is basically using every single unit you can use as a Zerg to defend against what Featwin is trying to throw his way. Although Vessel's coming in as well, these two Vessels are sneaking in. Radiate comes down, Hamburgersasu is running away with the drones, he's got them hotkeyed, throws them up, and he loses about 13 of them. But he still has 69 left alive, that should be enough, although his minerals are kind of low because he's throwing and sinking a lot of money into that air army. He's basically just getting Guardians, Mulisks, Devourers, whatever else you can imagine that works really well against battlecruisers that get debuffed by Devourers. Those, basically, the composition that Featwin is going for is really, really exceptionally bad against Devourers. And it opens up the use of Guardians really well. Those Guardians are not gonna die to these battlecruisers quick. Or the Valkyries, they're not gonna die to it quick. Featwin though gets plagued once again. Devourers on the chase, debuffing. Battlecruisers can simply not get away. It is so slow. They are so extremely slow and weak. Against these Devourers, those battlecruisers are so extremely weak. These Devourers basically don't take any damage from those fully upgraded battlecruisers. Got Guardians clearing out the tanks on the hill and on the low ground. We've got a mass drop here on the way as well from Hamburgersasu. Classic Hamburgersasu move. Though battlecruisers and Valkyries are already there to intercept the Overlords are trying to run away. Valkyries are on the chase. Battlecruisers are too slow to keep up with the Overlords. Got Mulis coming in to save the day here though. Killing... Oh, this is gonna be clutch. Battlecruisers are too slow. He's focusing on the Valkyries that are the threat, but more Valkyries arrive on the scene just in time to clear out the remaining Overlords, but one Overlord makes it through. It's empty though. Ooh, that was close, but the Valkyries came out just in time. Just on time. Looks like Featwin is just completely stopping with using Battlecruisers. He still has one of them on the way. Well, two of them on the way, in fact. Three of them on the way. He's getting more Battlecruisers again, even though they've proven not to really be that effective. He's getting more of them. Valkyries there clearing out the Mulisk with ease. Devourers in the back, they are not yet attacking the Valkyries. Valkyries now getting on top of the Devourers as they are not yet ready to shoot their load all over the Valkyries and debuff them with the acid spores. And yes, again, the Devourers go down, and Hamburgersasu is back to rebuilding his army, although he has a pretty sizable army. Finished already, got Queens in the mix as well. I do feel he's gonna try to go for the Mulisk bomb on the command center, but it really matters which side is he going to fly away over. Oh, he plagued the Valkyries, but no! The Mulisk runs straight into the Valkyries and he loses a large chunk. Oh, that ensnare just saves the day. I don't think there are many Valkyries. Oh, there are some Valkyries here ready to intercept, and the Mulisk are already on low HP from that massive volley from earlier. There's no queen left at the moment, and yes, Hamburgersasu kind of flew out over the wrong side of the map. If he went over the left side, of the right side I mean, there he pretty much wouldn't have been spotted out, and he would have had a pretty clean shot at flying in to get the command centers here in the back. But now he's forced to retreat back into his base, drag those Valkyries into the Hydralisks, and kill them there. This actually is an interesting match in terms of we're seeing so many different spells utilized and seeing them utilized really, really effectively. From both players, we're seeing a lot of diversity, not the most action, but, well, actually, a lot is happening. But this is not the conventional Terran against Zerg. This is actually a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. Once again, the Devourer gets a Yamato cannon off on the Devourer, kills one of them, but Guardian's coming in as well to finish off those pesky tanks up on the hill that are threatening the sides of Hamburgersasu's base. He's gonna whoop, scoop in there, kill them all, and clear out the map. Once again, on the other side of the base, on the other side of the map, got a couple of units flying in over the right side. But here on the left side, Hamburgersasu is gaining a lot of ground on Featwin, who took a lot of time to get all those tanks up on the hill, get all the turrets there, and to get basically everything here on the left side up and running. But now on the right side, tanks are on the hill. He's going to clear them out as well pretty easily. Now this is what we are looking for. Overlords that managed to sneak out, but it looks like Featwin saw it happen. He saw them fly past the barracks. He knows these Overlords are there, and once again, another attempt by Hamburgersasu gets shut down. Well, these Overlords are actually empty. They're empty. Oh, it was a distraction. It was a trap. Now he's moving out over the middle of the map. He's going straight for the attack there. Going straight for the attack there. Going to try to break into this choke point here, where Featwin at the moment only has about 8 or 9 tanks. He does have some battlecruisers and Valkyries, but it's mostly a ground army. It's mostly a ground army. We've got lurkers, we've got the Vilers, Zerglings, Pilotus. He's going to try to bust through that front door with a Dark Swarm, although these battlecruisers are actually killing a lot of lurkers. Although now they're getting taken down. The good Plague as well, although it's only on 2 battlecruisers, not many of them were left alive. Got the Guardians coming in from the backside as well with maxed out upgrades. Got maxed out upgrades everywhere. I'm really liking it. He's waiting a little bit for more units to arrive, but by waiting a little bit longer, he's also giving Featwin more time to get his tanks set up there in the front. Hamburgersasu is not really making any units at the moment. He's focusing in the front. Now he's making units. Ooh, all the units are on the way. He's maxed out pretty much. Very soon, he has to wait for those larvas to morph and pop. So yeah, now he is here in the middle. He managed to break out of that somewhat attempt at a containment. He's gone cross-map all the way. We've got Valkyries hunting for Overlords. That is very annoying, but this is something that Featwin has to do to ensure that once he kills these units on the middle of the map that are trying to attack, that Hamburgersasu cannot come in with a follow-up. But the debuff there on the Valkyries from the Devourer is making it very easy for this mass Mulus play to come in hot and strike. We have a lot of raids here from Featwin. And this actually might be his biggest mistake. He does have some Valkyries, but not a lot of them. About 5 Valkyries. Not sure if that will be enough to kill this area quick. Although actually, I thought Hamburgersasu would go for the Mulus bomb on the command center and take the command center down, but instead he's morphing into Devourers and Guardians. He's got 24 Devourers in total on the way. Featwin going for the Guardians before they finish morphing, but those raids are so weak against those Hylas that most of the air does go down for both players. Devourers are finishing up there though, Devourers are finishing up, and now the Guardians are morphing and popping as well, ready to go in and attack that front door. And it looks like Featwin doesn't actually have much that can survive this frontal attack. He doesn't have that much anti-air that doesn't suck against Devourers. Though there's no detection at the moment as well because he killed the Overlords all the way there in the back and is very close to dying. So the Guardian's going to go down because the Devourers can't simply hit those raids. So the raids are actually clearing out the Guardians pretty effectively, although the tanks are going down as well. Got Overlords are on the way flying across the map, but by the time they arrive, oh no, the Overlord has arrived and the raids are getting debuffed, the raids are getting rendered useless, so now the Guardians that are still alive can start clearing out the tanks in the front, and Hamburgersasu is pushing in. Slowly but surely he's advancing, although now the Devourers are being taken down. Pretty much all the Devourers have taken down except for one, which means the Guardians can also get taken down safely, which now means that of course Featwin can go for the counter push there and kill those Overlords. But here on the middle we've got Lurkers and the Vilers, and you've got a beautiful Plague there coming down as well. And yes, this is a... oh, so many Overlords coming in. What a beautiful tech switch from Hamburgersasu, which Featwin at the moment is not prepared for. He only has a couple of tanks in the front, but now there's so many lurkers setting up shop here in the front. And yes, this is the perfect ending for this game. This is absolute madness, and yes, that is the game. Featwin calls GG, and Hamburgersasu comes out on top. He is the winner, and yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful thumbnail. So I'm gonna call this... this is the thumbnail. This is just pure chaos. This is everything strewn together. All kinds of units from both players here in the front here. So, ah, yes. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. The thumbnail. Alright, so that's the game. between Hamburgersasu and Featwin. Kind of a crazy, weird Terran against Zerg. Not the constant frontal pushing that we usually see, but a lot of diversity with unit choices and tech choices and spell casting left and right. All kinds of attempts to go all over the map and try to break in to get something done, to try to get a big hit on the enemy. But mostly just a back and forth. Very close to Hamburgersasu's space that eventually broke into the middle and then towards the half of Featwin's half of the map. And then Featwin simply got sieged down with a very good tech diversity that he couldn't counter. His unit selection wasn't that good at the end. Looked pretty, but it wasn't that good. Thank you for watching. This was RJB for RJB TV. Hope you enjoyed it and come back for another video whenever I upload it.